Newt Gingrich here, and I'd like to invite you to listen to my podcast, Newt's World. Most people know me as the former Speaker of the House, but I'm also a historian with a wide range of interests. I enjoy talking with fascinating people who are doing extraordinary things. I release 3 episodes of Newt's World every week, and I want to invite you to listen. Hopefully, we'll both learn something new. Listen to Newt's World on the iHeartRadio app, Apple Podcast, or wherever you get your podcast.
And good afternoon, everybody! Joe Concha in for Sean Hannity. Mad Dog, how are you? How'd you get into the studio? Unbelievable. I am Joe Concha. I am filling in for Sean Hannity. 5-day weekend. Good for him. Believe he's earned it. Look, I am a columnist for The Hill. You may read my stuff. You may see me on the Fox News channel, where apparently I am on more than anybody on the network. A new stat just came in from Linda. Congratulations. Oh, that's just a perception. That's kill meat. Who are we kidding? Oh, by the way, here's the first of 18 shameless book promotions. Go out and buy my book for the holidays. Come on, man. The truth about Joe Biden's terrible, horrible, no good, very bad presidency, because every title of a book needs to be a mile long these days. It just can't be, Orca or War and Peace. You need like the title below the title, apparently, Linda. So go figure. Anyway, we're going to have a big show for you. We have Herschel Walker coming up a little bit later. He's kind of a big deal. He's running for the Georgia Senate. He's in a runoff. A crucial runoff. You either have a 50-50 Senate where you have some power sharing going on, or you have a 51-49 Senate, and that is not good news for the Republican Party. So we'll be talking to Herschel all about what he needs to do to win that race, including you got to get that Libertarian vote. You know, the 50,000 people voted for the Libertarian in that first race between Raphael Warnock and Herschel Walker. You'll never guess what the margin was between the two as far as that race was concerned. So it was 50,000. So you got to get as many of those votes as possible, and then obviously sell to the American people what you should be selling all along, in that inflation is unacceptable, and your solutions, more importantly, in terms of when you get to the Senate, how are you going to enact the certain kinds of things like, I don't know, less government spending to bring that down, or crime in places like Atlanta, where they are setting records in terms of murders and homicides and assaults. Probably something that the Republicans should be stronger on than the Democrat. Herschel's been talking about that. We're going to talk to him about that a bit more as far as his solutions around that. Also, we're also tracking right now, kind of like, Christmas Eve, you track Santa with NORAD, and you see like where he's flying, around the globe. We're now doing that with the historical Vice President of the United States. Where is Kamala Harris? Is she at the U.S. southern border, where she was made border czar something like 18 months ago? Oh, no! Is she visiting one of the aforementioned cities like Atlanta or Philadelphia or New York, San Francisco, Los Angeles, Portland, where crime is rampant and out of control? She is a former attorney general, after all. She must have some solutions. Oh, no! She's in the Philippines, talking to the Coast Guard there and visiting local fishermen who, if you watch the video of them carrying their fishing haul by her, they either have zero idea who she is or simply do not care. But seriously, I mean, one would think she would be at the southern border. Thank you, Robin Leach, by the way. In solving this crisis that is officially a catastrophe. You want to hear some numbers? So far, the documented folks that we've seen coming over illegally is now north of 4 million people since this president took office. But then when you add in the gotaways, those that we don't know about, those that may or may not be terrorists, I don't know, because there's already been 100 that have come over, according to just DHS stats, and it's probably a hell of a lot higher than that. We're approaching now 5 million people entering this country illegally. Now, numbers are thrown out all the time on cable news, and they're thrown out on radio, and people don't provide this thing called context. Sean does, but I'm saying the rest of the amateurs don't. All right. And here's the thing. Here's what context is as far as how many people is 5 million people. Well, if I look at U.S. state populations, 26 don't have a population of 5 million. So now already, just in 2 years, we've eclipsed the total populations of 26 friggin' states of the number of people that have come into this country. How about Wales? How many people live in Wales these days? They've been in the news. That's the team that somehow tied us in the World Cup. We have 340 million people, and we can't beat a team from a country that only has 3 million. Sorry, I've gone all mad dog on you again. But the point is that Wales has 3 million people. So now we've allowed 2 million more people into this country than Wales, which has been around for, 7,000 years. And no one cares. I guess Kevin McCarthy cares, however, right? But we're going to get to him in a moment as far as his plan to either force DHS Secretary Alejandro Mayorkas to resign or they will impeach him. But first, Linda, since it's a holiday weekend and we're going to have some fun, can we play the Thousand Island word salad game? Do we have the collector's edition of that, Linda?
I believe we do, actually.
Ooh, let's play cut number 1. Go.
Together, we are expanding access to transportation. Seems like maybe it's a small issue, it's a big issue. You need to get to go and need to be able to get where you need to go to do the work and get home.
So I'm here to ask you to do what you know how to do, because when you do what you do on all of these issues, the American people win.
Talking about the significance of the passage of time. Right? The significance of the passage of time. So when you think about it, there is great significance to the passage of time. More parents are seeing the value of educators when they had to kids and said, we're not paying them nearly enough. It is time for us to do what we have been doing, and that time is every day. Every day it is time for us to agree. When we talk about our children, I know for this group, we all believe that when we talk about the children of the community, they are children of the community.
You gotta take this stuff seriously as you are, because you have been forced to have to take it seriously.
We invested an additional $12 billion into community banks, because we know community banks are in the community.
That's true.
And understand the needs and desires of that community, as well as the talent and capacity of community.
Well, first of all, I acknowledge, one must acknowledge, the prices are going up.
Which is why we will work together and continue to work together to address these issues, to tackle these challenges, and to work together as we continue to work operating from the new norms, rules, and agreements that we will convene to work together on to galvanize global action.
Right.
With that, I thank you all. This is a matter of urgent priority for all of us. And I know we will work on this together.
My hair hurts. I don't know how hair can hurt. My hair hurt from listening to that, Linda. Why'd you put me through that?
The best part is when it comes out, when you're watching it, right?
Yeah.
It's kind of like a car accident, because you can't turn away, and it's so bad. I mean, it's so bad.
Repetitive comes to mind. She likes repeating words a lot.
But it's not just repetitive, right? It's like scary, because she gives so much emphasis on all of her words. Together. Because we need to work together.
She makes Mitt Romney and Hillary Clinton sound authentic, I mean, somehow she's accomplished this.
And the same terrible laugh. My God.
You're right. The cackle is strong with that one.
Intense, man.
That's plan B, I guess, right? If Joe Biden doesn't run, then there's your plan B.
Stop. I'm sorry. I need to be able to eat turkey tomorrow. You're giving me stomachache.
No wonder why Gavin Newsom's hair is getting such strong consideration for the Democratic nomination. That can't possibly be. It's more like plan Z.
Him or his gel, I'll tell you.
But what do you do? Seriously, Linda, stay with me here for a second, because I have a question. If Kamala Harris is somehow bypassed as far as the Democratic Party getting behind another candidate if Biden doesn't run, that's going to anger some African-American voters, I would imagine, because usually the vice president is the one who succeeds the president, right? You had that with Nixon after, he was 8 years with Eisenhower, so then he ran, and Gore ran after 8 years of Clinton, and George H.W. Bush ran after 8 years of Reagan. Like, that's kind of the thing. I'm feeling that wouldn't be received very well.
I mean, the anger in the community would be the community being angry, because the anger needs to be recognized, because communities should be angry when their anger is not recognized as a community's anger.
Somehow, after you played that Kamala Harris montage, everything you just made perfect sense. Everything you just said.
This is the thing, right? You repeat something insane often enough, and people start to think, oh, that does feel right. Oh, no, that's good. Absolutely.
It's like an extended fortune cookie, like a scroll almost. Like, and now it's all making sense to me.
You're welcome.
You're welcome. Anyway, Kevin McCarthy, thank you to him, because I think this is, as far as his moves as Speaker is concerned, right, or are concerned in this case, I think this one I like the most so far, in terms of him not only calling for the resignation and impeachment of Alejandro Mayorkas, who is the DHS secretary. But also, he's going to go down to the border and hold the hearings there. That would literally force Democrats and the media to go down there and see exactly what's happening. Now, of course, we know how this is going to play out. The media will say that this is politicized, it's weaponized, it's not really a problem, and McCarthy's just doing this as a photo op. In other words, they're just going to echo what Karine Jean-Pierre says as press secretary. And whenever the border is brought up, she always just says it's a photo op and we really want real solutions. Real solutions like what, I wonder? Remain in Mexico policy? Maybe starting the wall and finishing the wall again? Those seem like two pretty solid things because they were working well under the previous president. But look, this is a national security issue, not just for the terrorists I just talked about. But, unfortunately, I'm hearing more and more of a friend of mine about 10 days ago lives out in Ohio, and they have a neighbor whose kid just died of an opioid overdose. And it was a pill they thought, or the kid thought, was like an oxycodone type of thing, which is bad already, but it's not probably going to kill you, but it was laced with fentanyl. And it even had like a code on it, like C30 or M30, something like that. I remember he was describing it to me. But these kids think they're just taking something to help them study better, or maybe just get them a little more high than your average, beer or tequila or whatever. And then before you know it, the kid was found face down on his desk doing his homework, didn't even know what happened. Just boom.
So if you remember just a month ago in October, we were talking about the fact that, the kids, the Skittles.
Yeah.
Skittles were not only were they being laced with fentanyl.
The rainbow, yeah.
But the people were actually putting them back in Skittles packaging and vacuum sealing them. Jesus. So, the amount of effort that's going into this kind of attack on our nation and our kids, this is a whole generation lost.
And you would think that the president of the United States, who has a son that had drug addiction, would care about this a little bit more, but it's not politically expedient to do so. For him to acknowledge the fentanyl issue, to go down to the border, would be a white flag of surrender. But you know what? Take it, pal, and get down there. Talk to the border agents who are exhausted. They are overworked and they are underpaid. You know what? We're spending all these trillions. I say set aside a little billion and use that just to hire as many border agents as possible.
And not for nothing. They're being attacked. They're being hit.
Yeah.
We had 2 CBP officers murdered last week.
That's right.
I would love if Kamala Harris went down for a photo op. I would love it. Join McCarthy. That would be beautiful.
Yep. Instead, what do we have? The White House press secretary or the absentee vice president in Kamala Harris or President Biden, who, by the way, got an early start to the weekend. Talk about a long weekend, 6-day weekend in Nantucket, staying at a billionaire's mansion. So, yeah, he's really about the little people of Scranton. Good for him because he never seems to get away for any R&R. Right, Linda? So, give the guy a little credit.
Very, very hard being Joe. Okay.
Come on, man.
Come on.
Any Joe, it's hard being.
Honestly, when I read your book.
Yes.
For those of you who don't know, Joe is an accomplished author. He
That's
wrote
true.
Come On, Man. And we were talking about the title when you were writing it, and I was dying because I was like, there's no better title than Come On, Man, right?
Well,
what?
The good folks at HarperCollins, who are my publisher, like after the fact, my editor who I dealt with over there, he says, you know what? A very close second, and it just hit me now, would have been to call the book The Big Guy.
I don't know. In my opinion, and it's just my opinion, I'm not a publisher. You're a media guy. You cover the media. There is no word usage that has been used more by this human being than Come On, Man.
That's true.
Maybe Corn Pop, but definitely Come On, Man, 100%.
I have a whole chapter on Corn Pop.
Oh,
chapter
I'm fully
12.
aware. It's wonderful.
It's the best, right?
It's incredible. This person really exists in his mind.
No, he existed for real. He died in 2016.
No, I'm fully aware of that. But
Yeah.
in his mind, he's in the audience, just like Dead Congressman.
Oh, yes, that's right.
He's very
the
special.
congresswoman. Yeah, he was looking for him. Look, let's talk really quick, okay? About today is the busiest travel day of the year, right? Sunday is the second busiest. Are you leaving and actually going near an airport? Because you couldn't pay me $10,000. You can say, Conch, you can go to Fiji right now, first class, hotel, the whole thing. You could go to the Wonka Chocolate Factory. I would say no. I'm not going anywhere near an airport. You?
I'm not leaving or going to an airport because I'm here to work with you, Joe Concha.
That's right.
I'm here for it.
You could have taken
America, I'm here with Joe Concha.
Thank God, because I would have zero idea what I'm doing otherwise. But no, you go back home. It's a drivable thing for you, right? Staying with me.
I'm going to drive with everybody else on the turnpike. It's going to be wonderful.
Yeah, yep. Staying in Jersey myself. The Garden State.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving. Joe Concha in for Sean Hannity. Follow me on Twitter at Joe Concha TV. The book is Come On, Man. The truth about Joe Biden's terrible, horrible, no good, very bad presidency. Buy it wherever you buy those damn books. Back with more in a moment. We got a big show. Don't go anywhere.
The newsmakers you won't hear anywhere else. This is the Sean Hannity Show.
We're really going to have to do something about this music, people. I feel like I'm at the limelight in 1986.
It's a good feeling.
I guess.
What was wrong with the limelight back in the day? That was the spot.
Well, the day was 40 years ago. So
Listen, we don't need to give specifics.
Okay. Just, we'll have an improvement to the bumpin' music, it's called, for the next break. But in the meantime, people, speaking of improvements, apparently the DHS secretary who we were speaking about during the last segment, when he went before Congress just last week, you would think he'd say, yeah, we do have problems at the border. Yes, there is an influx like we've never seen before. We are trying to reallocate resources for XYZ in order to stop the flow. Instead, this is what we heard.
I've heard you and the Judiciary Committee recently in the summer testify that the border is secure. Secretary Mayorkas, do you continue to maintain that the border is secure?
Yes, and we are working day in and day out to enhance its security, Congressman.
Right. Thanks, sir.
We have remarkable.
I get it. I just wanted to make sure that still is your assessment.
The border is secure, and we are working to enhance security. Like what? Starting construction on the wall again? Oh, no, not that. We can't have that. Adding more border agents? No, not that either. We're working on, better and faster drones. Are you kidding me? Resign, impeach, whatever. We're not going to hear from Alejandro Mayorkas for, I would say, give him about 6 months by the time the process is over. Joe Concha in for Sean Hannity at Joe Concha TV on the Twitter. Back with more in just a moment.
Newt Gingrich here, and I'd like to invite you to listen to my podcast, Newt's World. Most people know me as the former Speaker of the House, but I'm also a historian with a wide range of interests. I enjoy talking with fascinating people across a variety of topics. On Newt's World, we've had some extraordinary guests join us, like former Secretary of State Henry Kissinger.
Ending the war in Vietnam was a necessity in order to help heal the divisions in the country.
John Clifton, the CEO of Gallup.
The world has been winning the war against hunger for 4 decades. In 2014, it switched. We have a serious hunger crisis.
And House Republican leader Kevin McCarthy.
What I've really found the Republican Party to be, it's the party of the people, the working people of America.
I release 3 episodes of Newt's World podcast every week, and I hope you'll find my conversations engaging and informative, and hopefully we'll both learn something new. Listen to Newt's World on the iHeartRadio app, Apple Podcast, or wherever you get your podcast. Newt Gingrich here, and I'd like to invite you to listen to my podcast, Newt's World. Most people know me as the former Speaker of the House, but I'm also a historian with a wide range of interests. I enjoy talking with fascinating people across a variety of topics. On Newt's World, we've had some extraordinary guests join us, like former Secretary of State Henry Kissinger.
Ending the war in Vietnam was a necessity in order to help heal the divisions in the country.
John Clifton, the CEO of Gallup.
The world has been winning the war against hunger for 4 decades. In 2014, it switched. We have a serious hunger crisis.
And House Republican leader Kevin McCarthy.
What I've really found the Republican Party to be, it's the party of the people, the working people of America.
I release 3 episodes of Newt's World podcast every week, and I hope you'll find my conversations engaging and informative, and hopefully we'll both learn something new. Listen to Newt's World on the iHeartRadio app, Apple Podcast, or wherever you get your podcast.
Hey, Sean Hannity here from my friends at Lone Star Transfer. Now, you've heard me for a while tell you that timeshares are kind of becoming a thing of the past. Now, unfortunately, many of you are still stuck in one. If you are, you don't have to be. That's where our friends at Lone Star Transfer can help. For well over a decade, they have successfully helped thousands and thousands of owners legally and permanently get out of their timeshare nightmare. They're also the only timeshare disposal company I personally endorse. Now, Lone Star Transfer is simply the best in the business, an A+ rating with the Better Business Bureau. They have thousands of 5-star testimonials. Their clients actually want you to know that they're the only company you can trust. They guarantee the release of all liability to your timeshare in writing and in a specific time frame. There's never been a better time to get out of that timeshare than now. Call today. You get a free, no obligation consultation. 833-594-0075. That's 833-594-0075. They're on the web at LoneStarTransfer.com.
Now we're talking, people. For those of you out there who are saying, wait, where's the country music? This is Damn Yankees from 1990, and the song is called High Enough. We will be playing power ballads and Gwen Stefani throughout the rest of the show, and nothing anyone out there can do. You can't stop me.
Don't speak.
I like Rich Girl myself.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I loved Gwen Stefani's Don't Speak.
Of course you did. You look a little like Gwenny.
Oh, thanks.
Got that blonde thing going on.
Hi.
She's in her 50s, you're in her 30s, but,
Listen, she looks like she's in her 20s, so at the end of the day, I mean, I don't have her money, but,
Well.
When you have that kind of money, you can look 20 for the rest of your life.
Is that how it works?
As far as I know.
Speaking of numbers.
I'm eating yogurt for lunch. I'm definitely not the one to check in with on that.
You have to put on weight. I'm the guy who looks like he's in his second trimester, all right?
You're so skinny.
Oh, no.
Yes, you are.
You're seeing Joe with a suit on right now because I just did Outnumbered earlier on Fox.
You're hiding the love handles?
Yes. They're like, you're a 42 regular. I'm like, no, I'm not. Put me in the 48. It's like an overcoat on me.
TV does make you look heavier than you are, though. That's just a known fact.
Is that right? Puts 10 pounds on you?
That's what they say. That's what Sean always says. He says, he's like, in person, I'm taller and thinner. So he's like, so I'm ugly and fat on TV. It's very, very funny.
Fat. Isn't the guy going to be in the next iteration of Cobra Kai? The way he talks about all that stuff?
He's a professional MMA UFC fighter.
Is he really?
He's like hardcore, man.
Professional?
I mean, he's training with a professional trainer. Like I've seen him. He's scary.
Really?
Listen, we traveled and he brought his trainer and it was no joke. I was like, I'll see you guys later. I want to live till tomorrow. Have a nice day.
He's like Ronnie. He's like radio's Johnny Lawrence.
No, dude,
right?
he means it. I'm out. I'm out.
Really? Okay.
I don't mess with that dude.
But that's not karate. He does the other thing.
He does an
Jiu-jitsu?
eclectic blend of mixed martial arts.
An eclectic blend?
You are welcome, Sean Hannity, if you are listening.
Wow.
If he heard me say that, he would literally jump up and down and be thrilled because I always would make fun. And he's like, you don't even know what I do. He does an eclectic blend of mixed martial arts.
Okay, Linda. So let's say it's Sean Hannity versus me, but I have nunchucks. Who wins?
Oh, he's going to take those nunchucks out.
Really?
Oh, dude, I've seen him. He practices with nunchucks.
Okay.
It's very scary. He means it. He's got a lot of aggression. He works in politics.
I just wanted to say nunchucks. I mean, how many times has that been said on this show? People are listening and driving saying, is this still a Sean Hannity show?
We've lost control.
We've lost control. And that's me because I'm the host. Oh, I'm Joe Concha, by the way. I'm a columnist for The Hill and I'm on Fox and all that fun stuff. Thanks for tuning in. 800-941-7326. 800-941-SEAN. Sean spelled S-E-A-N. You know this. Why don't we take a call, shall we? I want to go to, there's like 90 calls on here. I'm going to go to the middle of the country, to Oklahoma, the home of the Oklahoma Sooners, who are not having the best year this year. Roger, how are you?
I am abnormal, just like everybody else.
Good to hear. So am I.
I just want to talk about the border czar, our virtual president, Kamala Harris, the English language Harris.
Yes.
I've done the research, Joe, and I cannot find where someone revived Dr. Seuss to be her speechwriter.
Oh, jeez. You're right. It has a very Dr. Seuss kind of feel to it, right? It says a word. It keeps circling back to the word. Okay, I hear you. Go ahead, Roger. I'm cutting you off.
I'm just saying, I hear green eggs and ham until she starts her crackle, and then I hear my windshield crackle.
Is it crackle or cackle? Linda?
No,
rolling?
It's crackle.
It's a toss-up.
It's a toss-up?
It really breaks stuff.
Wow.
It is the worst.
That's the thing, though. Roger, it's not like I think she's riffing it, but half the time it seems like she's reading off a teleprompter. So, I mean, whoever is that speechwriter really should be practicing, this line. Do you want fries with that? Because it's not good. It's not good at all. Thanks for the call. What are you doing for Thanksgiving, by the way, Roger?
We've got everybody coming out to our house, so you guys have a good Thanksgiving too.
We will, and go Sooners or go Cowboys or wherever you may have gone to a state school in Oklahoma. Maybe you didn't at all. Maybe you're just a Tulsa Hurricane. I don't know. Actually, fill in that blank. Where did you go?
I went to Southern Nazarene University.
Wow, that sounds like a fun place. That sounds like the type of place you do keg stands like often.
No, it's a Christian school. They don't do keg stand. I went to school in my 40s and 50s.
Oh, wow. All right. That's cool. You went back and got the degree. So good for you. I love this conversation. Love to do it all day. But Roger, thank you. I appreciate it. Was Roger trying to say that they don't drink beer at Christian schools? All right. I may or may not have a sister that went to a Christian school, and I am certain That Natural Light, Bush Light, Coors Light, and anything light was consumed, especially Zima. That's a story for another time. Let's go to Ben. Let's stay in the old Southwest Conference, and let's go out to Texas. What part of Texas you calling from, Ben?
Well, I'm in El Paso.
Ah, El Paso. Very good. How are things down there? Warmer than here, I would imagine.
It's not bad. It's in the 60s.
Okay. I would take that. So let's do some Thanksgiving trivia, shall we? So I'll let you have the floor, Ben.
Well, there's a two-part to it. What's the most famous Thanksgiving song ever written?
Wow. I mean, could it be from the Charlie Brown soundtrack? But I don't remember anything kind of standing out from that.
Yeah.
Wow, that's a complete and total guess. Linda, help. What? Just Google it real quick before he knows what we're talking about. Wait, go ahead again.
Jingle Bells is the most famous song, and it was written for Thanksgiving. Is that what you said?
Yeah. One Horse Open Sleigh is the name of the song, and then the chorus is Jingle Bells, of course.
Wow.
That, and it was written for Thanksgiving.
Yeah. And what's the name of the horse that's pulling the sleigh? His name's in the song.
The horse that's pulling the sleigh. Boy, that's tough. Come on, Google. There's no internet in here. I can't cheat. Linda,
what is it?
He was a bobtailed Clydesdale.
Yep, bells on a bob's tail. There it is. Wow.
That's a name or a type?
Y'all have a good turkey day.
Happy Thanksgiving, Ben.
Could I have sound any more like I'm from a suburb in New Jersey than I just did right now?
Honestly, though, it was brilliant. You're like, could it be this? And he's like, yes, it is. You're like, oh, really?
Yeah.
I mean, it was like, you were like Publishers Clearinghouse. Like, I won? Really? It's me? Oh, my gosh.
I totally Googled it, so, you know.
I didn't Google it at all. I was like, okay.
You got to cheat in these situations. Oh, boy. Let's stay with the very, very serious phone calls that we have right now. And I will go to my old haunt, Maryland, Silver Spring, about 24 minutes from College Park. Am I about right about that, Dave?
That's about right. How did you know where to find me, Joe Concha?
Oh, no, I know this voice. Have we met before?
I believe we have, but it might have been another show, but it's not important right now. It's the Hannity show, and you're there.
Yes.
And I hated to pull Linda out to answer the phone on my little call, but a lot of people seem to be confusing their laughs, okay?
Yes.
Did you never see The Exorcist or I Love Lucy? Nancy Pelosi, now she is more of a demonic cackle. It's throaty. It's like, and you know, Trump is not a legitimate president. The hands fluttering around.
It's not horrible.
And in between, you know, instead of a comma, is this sort of like that. And then Lucy Ricardo is a Kamala type cackle. And I'm not going to get into chortles or any of that stuff, but that is the delineation right there.
That's interesting.
Because cackle in the throat,
yeah,
or an unrestrained guffaw because you have nothing other to say except repeating one word endlessly.
Wow. Linda gave me 2 rules. She goes, promote your book as much as possible and no chortling whatsoever on the air. And I said, all right, it's done.
Although it sounds like, you know, Dave has a very good holiday drinking game, you know, doing the difference between the chortle, the cackle, the crackle. I mean, I think we've got a really good game here on our hands.
You'll end up in the ER if you end up
100%.
Yeah. I know this is short notice, Mr. Producer, but can we get like a montage of the cackle? Do we have that available? You think you can pull that up within like 3 seconds? 2, 1, go.
Do you have plans to visit the border?
Not today. More parents are seeing the value of educators when they had to bring their kids and said, we're not paying them nearly enough.
Hold on. Slow down, everybody. Because there's an interesting fact, in case you didn't know. Hard hats are actually unisex. Everybody's laughing.
You're considered the most liberal United States senator.
Somebody said that, and it actually was Mike Pence on the debate stage. But
yeah,
I think it's probably just a tick, right, Linda, that when she gets nervous, then she laughs. I got friends like that. It's annoying.
I actually don't have any friends like that at all, and I'm really grateful this Thanksgiving for that very fact.
That's a very good point, that if they do that, then why are they my friend?
Yeah, no, I would cut that off. I'm like, sorry, what's your nervous tick? Yeah, we're not friends anymore. Have a nice life, and happy Thanksgiving.
Speaking of Thanksgiving, so you'll see family.
I will. I'm hosting.
You're hosting, and you're here? Yes. Shouldn't you be cooking?
Yeah, no. I mean, you know, we're doing a pizza style. We're going to keep it simple. You know, whatever topping you want. I'm just kidding.
See,
no,
all right.
I'm cooking tonight at midnight.
I'm not playing poker with you because I was about to buy that.
It's not a horrible idea, though.
Here's some Domino's pizza. Everybody,
seriously.
Thank God for your blessings.
Ugh.
No, what are you going to do? You're going to go home and cook?
Yeah, I'm going to food shop tonight, like a lunatic.
Food shop or chop? If people from Jersey say food shop and it's annoying, it's
No,
shop.
I say food shop with an SH.
You got the SH, okay,
yeah,
good.
I have my SH words pretty down pat.
So you're going to go like 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock tonight, get your food.
If I'm home by then.
Yeah.
I mean, the traffic's going to be just horrendous.
What time do you eat? Because at my sister-in-law's, who may or may not be listening right now, we eat dinner like we're on British time. In other words, if it's 6 o'clock in London, at 1 o'clock, I'm sitting down for dinner. So by the time I get to the third NFL game, I'm downing like Apple Jacks and Fruit Loops because I'm hungry.
Wait, you don't eat again? That's the whole point.
Like the meal goes on for a while. There's several courses to it.
Oh, all right.
So we start at 1, and by the time we have like the main meal, I guess it's almost close to like 2:45, 3.
That's a thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
But if you're up at like 8:30, it's only natural.
Listen, I get up very early. I cook very early. I'll be cooking very late. I put everything on sternos. I like the food hot. I'm very particular about, how you serve and all the things. But I could see if it's many courses that you would start at 1 or 1:30.
Yeah.
And then you could do that for a couple hours. But I mean, our tradition is I'm doing like apps at 2 and then like dinner at lunch at 3. But because I know people are going to eat again at 6.
Do you do the wine thing as you cook just to make things a little bit more happy?
I am very happy as I drink. I'm more of a Tito's and tonic kind of girl.
Really?
Wine's for sissies. Yeah.
Good for you.
I dial it up a notch.
Right.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
On the rocks, or you haven't eaten?
I mean, I like it on the rocks with a little lime. I like a lot of like a bubbly, a nice tonic. My sister-in-law's making cider. Harvest cider, something.
Do you find it amazing that Grey Goose used to be a thing, right? And
dude, I know, man. It got crushed by Tito's.
Tito's is the only thing you see out there.
It is the only thing, and I'm grateful for it. I love Tito's.
Really?
It's delicious.
What's
Absolutely.
Smirnoff? Is that done?
Okay, Smirnoff is like for when you're really desperate. No offense to those of you who like it. It's just not for me.
Not for you.
Mm-mm. I like Absolute, and I love Tito's. I'll do Grey Goose if I have to. I think it's overpriced.
Yes.
And then I'll do someone like, when they make them like in the distilleries from where you're at, right?
Of course.
You go in the liquor store and they have that section from your hometown. I'm like, okay, hometown brew. Let's try it.
Do you add a little hint of Red Bull just to give you a little...
First of all, I can't mess with Red Bull. It tastes like cough syrup to me. I don't know why anybody drinks Red Bull.
That's true. It tastes horrible.
It tastes horrible. And if I really want to get a kick in the pants, I drink coffee. I drink, probably like 12 cups of espresso a day, if you can't tell.
Say coffee.
Coffee. How do you say it? You're from here. How do you say it?
I took a course. My first course in college was to get rid of my nasal A.
Are you kidding me?
No, I'm serious. So I could be neutral as far as no one can tell where I'm from.
Listen, I've been taking some classes too. It's working really well.
Get a refund.
Just so you know. That's just mean. Somebody asked me the other day, and I said, I'm from Philly, but I lived in New York forever, so it's a really bad accent where these two, cities that got together in my mouth, and it's just terrible.
Wow.
Yeah, it's not a good compliment.
Where'd you take this course? Hamburger U?
Yes. I got free milkshakes, too. I mean, I guess I should have known then.
I guess so. Yeah, no, I had a Jersey accent, and the Jersey accent derives from having a nasal A, they said. So they said, I used to say handle and candle, and you got this thing going on, right? So they were able to eliminate that.
For those of you who can't see Joe, he's holding his nose.
That's true.
In the studio.
I literally have a clothespin in it right now. Yeah, no, and then the only comes back when tequila is involved. Otherwise, I'm able to hold this completely.
Oh, tequila is a beautiful thing.
Is it really?
Turkey and tequila. That sounds like a good plan for tomorrow.
Wow. Enjoy
and
America.
Football. There you go.
And football. That's right. 3 games. Anyway, before the show goes completely off on a tangent, 800-941-7326. It's Open Line Wednesday, apparently. We'll steal a little bit from Rush there. 800-941-7326. Joe Concha in for Sean Hannity. Back with so much more in just a moment.
Breaking news every single day. This is the Sean Hannity Show.
Funny, it sounds nothing like Gwen Stefani. All right, we're going to have to improve that in the next hour for the music people. Again, I feel like I'm in a bad John Hughes movie with that. Anyway, Joe Concha in for Sean Hannity, the Sean Hannity Show. 800-941-7326. It is Open Line Wednesday before Thanksgiving, which, as you know, is a big deal around here. Why don't we play, if you don't mind, Cut 72? Because Anthony Fauci took the stage for the last time as a government official, as far as we know. And he was at the White House briefing yesterday. And again, he continues to blame a COVID potential outbreak around the holidays, which kind of happens because people get together, and when people are together in cold weather places indoors, this virus tends to spread a bit. He still is blaming a certain sector of the population. Cut 72. Go.
But the people who are most at risk are the unvaccinated. I mean, we have 68% of our population is vaccinated. You know, that means that we have 32% of the population that's not. And if you look at the data, they are just profoundly striking of the curves of death and hospitalization of unvaccinated versus vaccinated and boosted. So there is a relatively smaller difference in vaccinated and unboosted versus vaccinated plus boosted. That doesn't mean you shouldn't get boosted, but the real...
Okay, you get the point, people. The unvaccinated is still to blame for COVID. Carol Roth coming up in a moment. Thanks.
The holidays are upon us. It's so easy to get all wrapped up in the spirit of giving, except, well, you might actually be giving away a lot more than you mean to. Now, this time of year, we all tend to do more things online, more browsing, sharing, and shopping for gifts and travel. But more online time also means more of your personal information is out there, potentially getting exposed. LifeLock.com by Norton makes it simple and easy to protect your identity during the holiday season and all year round. Now, if you ever do become a victim of identity theft, well, they will give you a dedicated U.S.-based identity restoration specialist to fix it for you. Now, look, no one can prevent all identity theft, monitor every single transaction in the world, but everyone can save an additional 25% off their first year. Call 1-800-LifeLock or just go to LifeLock.com. Use the promo code Hannity. That's LifeLock.com, 1-800-LifeLock, promo code Hannity. You save an additional 25% off your first year.
If you own a business, this has been a bumpy ride. From pandemic to inflation, I'm sure you could use a break. If your business has 5 or more employees and survived COVID, you might be eligible to receive a payroll tax refund of up to $26,000 per employee. The challenge is getting your hands on it. Hi, I'm Howard Mackler, and that's why I founded GetRefunds.com to cut through the red tape and get you that money. The team of tax attorneys we have put together are highly trained in this little-known payroll tax refund program. We do all the work, charge not a dime up front, and simply share a percentage of the cash that we get for you. Businesses of all types qualify, including those who took PPP, nonprofits, and even those that had increases in sales. We have helped return over $1 billion to businesses, and we can help your business too. Just go to GetRefunds.com and answer a few questions. This payroll tax refund is only available for a limited period of time. Don't lose out on up to $26,000 per employee. Go to GetRefunds.com. That's GetRefunds.com.
Newt Gingrich here, and I'd like to invite you to listen to my podcast, Newt's World. Most people know me as the former Speaker of the House, but I'm also a historian with a wide range of interests. I enjoy talking with fascinating people who are doing extraordinary things. I release 3 episodes of Newt's World every week, and I want to invite you to listen. Hopefully, we'll both learn something new. Listen to Newt's World on the iHeartRadio app, Apple Podcast, or wherever you get your podcast.